Ivala, we will do this meeting a little different. I didn't want to bring a lot of slides because I want everybody get involved, and then let's have a discussion about things. Okay. So, Chitu,
Yes, Ringo.
you had some questions. So if you have any question, let's start with that. Or let me bring up what came up when we were talking about.
Yeah, just came out from that meeting. I need a little time to focus.
That's okay. Let me put in perspective what we were talking about. We were talking about how can we handle these insecurities that are coming up because of the corona or whatever situation it is, So our aim is to see whether we can do something about the external insecurities by developing skills within us that we can face the insecurities better. Okay? So that is the thing, Basically, youngsters especially, they are very insecure generally here and everywhere else also, because they have to swim against the stream now, because all the opportunities are dried up or slow to open up, and also they have to have more competitive edge to compete. So we can help them to gain the skills and adapt to the things and all that. But if they are very down to begin with, or if they are not having the courage or strength from within, that's where I want to address this. Okay? So what do you think about that, Chichu?
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, it has affected me. I'm not talking about the youngsters, but yes, youngsters has affected a lot because most of their future plans have been kept on hold now. They have to do a rethinking, and that's happening. Personally, though, Chintu it's not affected in that big sense, but in a small sense, it has affected because he is doing his internship as he had planned on. And for me, yeah, it has affected me a lot. So yes, I do really wonder, but I'm trying to open up into new avenues so that I can try and work on that.
That's good. Let's see what Nandu thinks about
it. See, we have really adapted in my line of work and all that. We have really adapted, and I'm getting a lot of my staff to think differently and approach the whole situation differently, because we deal with the younger generation. So getting the children to stay focused and explore new ways of learning and all that is challenging. So that is one point. And then when it comes to the younger generation, I think they are too much, they are dealing with it. For them, suddenly their wings are clipped. They have to be at home. So that is, that is playing a major thing. And yeah, trying to get them to think differently and work differently is, I think, something each of us have to work on our own. We probably give them suggestions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they're dealing in their own way, somewhat or the other.
Yeah.
That is the focus of our talk here is, can we bring some inner tools for them so that they can face the life as a whole? Okay. So getting the degrees, getting the skills and all those things, the university will do. But how are we going to prepare these kids for the universe, rather to say that, okay? So
yes.
my perspective is the ancients have done extraordinary adverse situations in a very efficient way. Okay, what did they do? How we can learn is the subject that we are going to discuss today. Okay, it's not that we have to blame ourselves like, oh, we have to be better than that. Not that. It's a question of examining what are those skills that they have brought in from inside. Imagine we went to big Himalayas, very cold, very threatening to conquer, right? And then they were in forests, and then they had nothing to eat, and they had nothing to cover themselves up, and also they don't have any house. But what they did was they kind of brought every strength from inner perspective, and then they went about solving the external problems. Okay, for that what you need is not the knowledge, but more like uh, understanding of what is what. Okay, usually what happens, your mind will be running with all sorts of worries or thinking, or something like uh, uh, regretting something that happened or forecasting something and all that. The question is, are we capable of getting over that kind of thought, chatter, or noise within us? Okay. So you guys want to talk about it? Anything that you do that is bringing those kind of strengths from within?
Yeah, I think I'm consciously making an effort not to think back and
Yeah.
not to think ahead.
Excellent.
I am seriously making an effort because I had some very bad experiences in the last 6 months. So, which I think finally decided in saying that I have to, yeah, I have to, it is something which I need to make.
Yeah, you resolve. Yeah, good.
Yeah, I have to do it. And so that's how I think I consciously made that decision.
Okay.
And I am working on that every day. Believe me, today morning also I had a lot of,
Disturbance.
what do you say? Yeah, struggle regarding work and all that. But it's okay at home, work. And so I am consciously. Then a friend of mine advised me, she said, at the end of the day, all the work that you're doing, you just say Krishna Arpamastu and leave it at that.
Yeah.
So you just have to do whatever you have to do. At the end of the day, ఈ prayer ఒక్కటి చెప్పి ఊరుకోగమ్మునా. So that's exactly what I'm doing now. I am just doing my job within and outside.
Okay.
And I am not questioning things. I think I found my little peace.
Yeah.
Only thing is I digress here and there.
Yeah.
Then
That is
again,
the
I
practice.
have to pull myself back into it.
Let us start with something that you could do early in the morning. Okay, then that will help you to get into the stage all day. Okay.
Yeah.
So the moment you get up, what you don't want to do is don't reach out for the phone or email or anything like that. Okay, you just woke up, you opened your eyes. What you want to do is you don't want to jump into the stream of thought. Okay.
Yeah.
Usually what happens is, I have to do this today, this, and all those things, and then you get up and get ready and go into that. That's a mistake. Okay, what you want to do is, you want to get yourself to the present moment. So the way to do that is, get up in the morning, be in touch with what is happening with the weather, what's happening in your body, what's happening with your breath. So you bring yourself to the moment by focusing on the breath. The simple thing, right? Do it 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, whatever is convenient for you. I want to all of you do this with me. It's a very simple thing. Satya, everybody, okay? Okay. So everybody sit straight in a chair or whatever there. Okay, main thing is your back and your neck should be straight. Okay, you can close your eyes if you want to, then that way attention will be more on the breath. Okay, take a deep breath all the way where your chest expanded. Now hold it for a second. 1, 2, 3. Then blow it out so that everything is expelled. Do it again. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Blow it out. The last one. Hold it. So this is, you are bringing your awareness to the breath, right? I think you can write it down. First thing you want to do right after you get up, bring your breath to the present moment. To basically, unconscious, you are making conscious. That's the first thing you are doing, right? Next thing you want to do is see what is going on in the mind and have a thought that you can bring in that will bring you all the awareness into the present moment. It's a noble thought is better. Okay, I have a number of them, but I'm playing on the side this Purnamidam Purnat Pajam. Okay.
Purnamidam Purnam.
Okay, Chitsu, recite it.
Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate.
Yeah, good. Okay. Om. First, you have to first start with Om because that's the Bij mantra. Okay. Om Purnamidam Purnamidam. Okay. Purnat Purnamidachyate. Okay. And then the other things come. Anyway, can you guys, I want to show you, I'm going to show you this, I'm going to share the screen, okay, so that you can see my screen, okay? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. In that, I'm going to pull up this Purnamitam. Look at the meaning of this, okay? Om is the first one, okay? It's a symbol of Parabrahman, right? And then each one goes, the next line goes to Purna Adaha. That means Purna is the full, that's the divine consciousness. Here it says that, Adha means that. That means outer world or God, you can say, okay? Next line it says Purna Idam, that means Idam means this world, that full divine consciousness in this world also, okay? Whatever is the outer world, Purnam is in me too. And then that fullness, this fullness is coming out. Even if you throw it out, still the fullness will remain. Okay? So taking the Purnam, fullness out of there, still Purnam remains. What it basically is, the outer perfection creates the inner perfection. When you realize that, you identify the contented, peaceful fullness within you. Rishis started with that. They were stationed in that. That's why they didn't have to look for anything that need to be contented. You get it? So repeat this poem every day in the morning, understand the meaning and feel the meaning. And sooner or later, you will get into that consciousness where you know that you're already full. You don't have to have things or anything outside. You know what happens there? Then you go to any task not feeling lack, but feeling fullness. Any questions on this?
I'll take a screenshot of this, Chanbabu.
Yeah, can take it.
It means the fullness which is outside is the fullness which is within us too.
Yes.
Kada?
No. The fullness has created you. It is there in you.
Okay.
So you don't have to make it another object. It is right there. And then that fullness you are not in touch with. That's why your mind and body dominates.
Okay.
Your mind goes after things thinking that I am lacking in something, so I need this. You understand?
Yeah.
So the people who don't have anything, the rishis, how did they come about life? See, they don't have insurance policies. They don't have anybody feeding them. They don't have anything that coming out. No assurances, right? What happens tomorrow, they don't know. But they did so many scholarly works. They did so many sculptures, paintings, poems, singing, and all that. What they created was extraordinary. 32,000 poems by one person is not normal. The temples that they built have exquisite sculptures, right? We know all of that. So what we want to learn from that is, what is it that made them so secure within themselves that they can embark on any project and bring that strength? Get? So you don't have to blame yourself. I'm not in this particular thing. You know, mute yourself, Chitsu, if she is crying. Okay. So I think this is something. What you want to do is every day take this and then read this in the morning. You know the poem, right? Chitsu is not a hard thing to learn and remember. If you go on doing that, it will become an automatic habit. Then you have to know the meaning and live the meaning in the morning. Okay? Then what happens is, after a while, you begin to feel there's the strength, there is the power within you. And that power is the real you, and your mind is an object to that power. Then whatever comes into your mind, you can handle it. Suppose a negative thought comes. I don't have any money coming in, what I'm going to do? Instead of that worry pulling you down, you will face that as a matter of fact. Yeah, sure. What do I need to do? I don't have to pull myself down for that, but I need to work for that. So all the energy goes towards doing something. This is what they mean by they started with strength and then performed in life. So somebody has insecurity, like a kid of ours or anybody, and then we can bring that power from within them. So what I call this is empowerment from within. You give food, body will be strong. You give powerful thoughts, mind will be strong. But if you give insight from within, that power comes up. Nando, you felt like I need to control it. So that I need to control is who? That is the power is controlling your mind going that way and this way. The problem here is all the habits that you have done so far will come back to haunt you every day. So you need to practice that in the morning and then continue to practice through the day. Don't worry, even if your mind goes that way, this way, it will come back slowly. So your practice should be starting with this. It doesn't have to be only this padyam, but anything. There are so many things you can read, but this is something very popular, and a lot of Chitsu also knows about it. Everybody knows about it, you know. That's why I thought I will put this in there.
The Bhagavad Gita class, after she reads the chanting, when she's closing the class, she makes us read this.
Good, read that, but then know the meaning. That's the only thing I am telling.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever they're doing it, do it with them and then feel the meaning within you. You don't have to tell anybody, just you have to do it yourself. But all I'm saying is, the class, that's fine. Whenever they're doing, you do it. But then you do that as a practice in the morning every day.
Yeah.
We can do something else if you want. I can tell you all those things. But basically what
No,
I'm
no,
saying,
this is fine. This is a good one. We'll do this.
okay, that is
Mhm.
about the how you bring up your security from within, right? Now what happens
Yeah.
is, you get up tomorrow morning, tonight something happened, somebody called and then they upset you about something, and then you get up in the morning, you are worried about that. Okay, how to not to get into that and also stay in this. Okay, look at this way, very practically, if you don't take care of that, that won't be done, right? You have that. What I'm saying is, do that without the worry.
Hmm.
Because if you stay with the worry will deplete your energy. People may think, oh, I'm mature enough, I can handle it, that's fine. But then that worry doesn't have to be there. What has to be there is what needs to be done, but do that with this energy. This is a huge thing if you master it. This applies to every other situation. You are going to the train is delayed. Okay, you can choose to react with a lot of worry, or you can say, okay, I'm going to try to make it, I'm going to run, but then I'm not going to allow myself to be worried sick about it. From that to big deals also, basically you are getting in touch with the real you, which doesn't have the movement. From there, you are going to use your mental faculties to get things done. Previously, you are in the mind, you are letting it run, and that is taking all the energy, and then you are not even able to focus properly,
So
right?
that's what happened. Yeah.
I'll tell you another deeper principle. I think you write it down, Nandu, Chichu, if you want. No, what it is be aware of everything happening around you, but rest in who you really are. That is the one that doesn't move. This is what Ramana Maharshi said. Ramana Maharshi, did you write it down?
Can you repeat the second line, Chinbabu?
Yeah, first line is be aware of everything happening around you
Yeah.
and rest in the real you, which is awareness, consciousness. So you are separating your body and mind from your consciousness, awareness. That is the key point. The more you are conscious, that means, Nandu, you are doing something, you are in the present, you are aware, you are conscious, that means you are there. And then whatever the mind is doing, you can follow it or choose to not to follow it. So whatever you are doing, you are paying attention to it so that your mind doesn't go to the past or doesn't go to the future. That is the key of doing anything. So you get ready, you are going to the office, you are talking to the client. Each time you are completely attuned to that. That
Okay.
is done. Next one, you go to the next one. Don't bring this to that one. So where does that attention to everything comes? In the morning, when you get up, when you set your mind towards that. Don't go for the external information. That is the mistake people are doing with the phones and social media and all that. You don't need all that information. You don't need all those likes and all that, because that's how we overwhelm our mind and we don't have the energy to do the things.
Yeah.
See, people think, oh, it's very difficult for me to do that because they are taxing their minds with all the unnecessary things. Then what is important for you, you will do, right? So focus in the morning, continue through the day. Now we are coming to the night time. This is another very important thing. Before you go to bed, put those devices aside and then write down the things that you have to do tomorrow. Right? And then live the day from backwards, from 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever that happened, relive in your mind and put it aside. Don't take it to the bed, to the sleep. So you're basically cleaning off your mind that night. It's easy. 4 things happen, 4 things you don't want to feel bad about it, anger about it, or worry about it, and take it to the sleep. Clean the mirror, clean everything. And again in the morning it comes, again it starts like what we said. Right? So you guys tell me, what anything difficulty in this understanding or anything that you have done before that has interrupted you? First of all, did you get it from morning till night? What do you do in the morning? What do you do in the day? What do you do before sleep? This won't be yeah, go ahead, Chichu.
Working on that, Chinbabu. In the morning I get up, yeah, I do check my phone. I should stop doing that.
Yeah.
And I do my yoga, so that's a bright spot. It really keeps me going for the whole day also.
Now when you're doing the yoga, be in the present day.
Yeah. And our concentration, our meditation చేసేటప్పుడు we are constantly wavering away, you know. That they say, bring your concentration now to within yourself, just watch your breathing grow అంటూ ఉంటారు. ఆ టైంకి పోతూ ఉంటుంది కూడా.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sometimes
that is to beginner with, but then you want to be meditative all through the day. All you have to
like
do
that
is,
we have to be the whole day then.
all you have to check is only one thing. Am I here and now or not? Don't worry about controlling the mind. You pay attention to the thing you are doing. Am I here or not?
Okay.
If you put all the junk in the mind, then that will run. So you don't want to respond to social media unless it's important to you.
Yeah.
And then you want to limit the things are coming and asking for your attention. Shut off the
That's
phone.
basically for work.
Yeah, shut off the phone. And then while you're working also, multitasking, how you do it is, you cut down multitasking to each task. Obviously, you are not answering the phone and then talking to somebody else here. That you don't want to do that. You want to talk to the phone at that moment, and then next moment you talk to the other person. That means each one you are doing completely consciously. Then you can have all the multitasks coming, but when the task you are focusing on, only that takes your energy. Very important, because if you let everybody come and demand your attention, first of all, you are not doing something with focus. Second of all, your energy is depleted. And that adds up, and at the end of the day, you feel exhausted. And if you go to the sleep with that, then your energy will be much more exhausted because mind continues to work with that. So what do you do at the end of the day? Do you do something like chanting or something to calm your mind?
No,
No, just
I don't. I listen to songs. I listen to
yeah.
Sadhguru. I listen to his songs, Shiva Stotram, and two more songs, and then Annamacharya Kirtan ఒకటి అమ్మ పంపించింది. ఈ 3-4 songs నేను విని, and then I go to sleep.
What is the Annamacharya Kirtana?
Mm. You only sent it అంట.
యా చిన్బా
మనసు
పంపించింది అమ్మ
జన్మ,
చెప్పింది.
మానవ జన్మది.
Ah,
అమ్మ.
that is a
I
very,
listen to
very
that. Then I listen to Shiva Stotram, and then Sadhgurudi ఇంకొక పాట.
you have to put that
Um,
aside and please listen.
I listen to these 3-4 songs, and I sleep.
Okay. You know how significant that poem he wrote?
Yeah,
I will give you the
I
context.
love that song. I love that song.
But what is the meaning? Tell me.
ఎక్కడి మానుష జన్మ.
There. Tell me the meaning. What did you understand?
I mean, like, you know, we the things that we are doing in our life every day, we give importance to different things, and then we make excuses for other things. You know.
See, he wrote it at the end of life.
His life, yeah.
He already had seen the God and realized the God. Okay? He attained the highest knowledge. Okay? But he is talking about the tribulations of human life, not able to keep it up. So what he's saying is, what is the use of taking the birth of a human being when the human being is conscious so that he can realize what is the ultimate reality is? A plant, an animal cannot do that. Okay? But a human being's life is valuable because you are able to do this self-realization. So he tells you how the human go towards things that will not help him to realize. So he lists the things that he is doing that will not help him to realize. And then he lists the things that will, if he does, he will realize. Understand? So if you really get the context and the meaning of that, and then if you see what you are doing in your life, that way or this way, then you can transform that to this way. This may not be for you guys because it's for a very matured spiritual souls, you know, because he already realized, and he's talking about the tribulations that people go through. This is all because of the Maya. So you have to understand a lot of meaning about realization, what is Maya, what are the various states of human being, how to encounter all of this. Once you understand them, this is a very good way to remind yourself. Okay, so understand the meaning, anything, okay? Understand the context, then it will be useful. So he's kind of describing the plight of human beings that are living everything else except realization and what are things are. So I will tell you each stanza, which I know very well. That's one. The first stanza is like, I don't want to sacrifice the food.
Yeah.
Maravanu aharam. That is, I don't want to, not just food eating for the sake of living. It's a food with taste, with all sorts of desires, okay? And make it like a psychological need and all those things. They won't live anywhere because they will make you suffer, because if you don't have them, you suffer because of the lack of it. You don't have the taste, you will suffer because of that. You don't have variety of them, then you will suffer. But if you indulge too much, then you have the other diseases. So to get to all that is the one thing. Another ahar in there is what you consume into your mind. What kind of data? You are not leaving the data, unnecessary data, right? So you are listening to everything without any focus, then that all becomes toxic data in your mind. Okay, first what he says is, I won't forget the food. Okay, then the next one is what do you say? I won't forget the comforts of worldly life, samsara sukham. Okay, and the next one is, I don't forget indriya bhogam. That means sensory pleasures.
Luxuries.
Sensory pleasures. Luxury is not related
Okay.
to pleasures. Okay.
Okay.
So
Sensory.
samsara sukham, luxury is also, but then sensory pleasures. So because of these three, I'm stuck to the materialistic sensory pleasures only. Because that's not wrong, but if it is overdone, they become a diminishing returns. You eat one ice cream, that's good. But if you eat 20 ice creams, then it becomes wrong.
Bad.
You won't even have the taste for it anymore. But enjoying it for what it is, that's okay. Okay? But you know what? We won't forget these things. We indulge our life so much. But what are the things we are forgetting? That is the next line he goes into. Marachada sugnanamunam. Marachada tattva rahasyamunam. Marachada guruvunu daivamunam. That means what? Come in the reverse order. Guru Daivam. The one who shows you the path to enlightenment is your Guru. He is like the God too. And that God is within you. Advanced people will know that. Okay? You guys may go to Sadguru and other people. But once you realize, you will know that is inside you. Then what it does the actual, real deal of Jnana. That is the knowledge. Tattva Rahasyam. Sugnana means right knowledge. If you have the right knowledge and if you have the secrets of that tattva, and then you are not forgetting those things I forget. Right? So
Yes.
read the song, listen carefully, then you'll have a lot more. I can take one sentence on that and talk to you for 1 hour. See, main thing you want to remember from this is the sensory pleasures that were given such an importance is causing havoc in the world. Okay? You examine, am I a slave to my senses? Limited? Okay. Having the control is okay. But then just living for them is really going to lead you to suffering down the line. The wise people who understand that will not involve all that. So what he was saying is, we will do all these things, but we don't do what is important. And then, finally he says, even though I saw you, I knew all of that, I still got into these things. That is the thing you want to learn from is, our mind, you may agree with the things that I'm telling you now, but tomorrow morning when you wake up, you won't have it in your mind. That's why all the time being in practicing them every day is important. Like for example, tomorrow you have something threatened your security, you have to come from the strength from within. Then you understood. Suppose you have something that a car or some property, something that is threatened to be taken away, that should not be binding you. That won't happen just like that. Before even to go there, you have to understand, where am I? So start this practice, start to do that. I don't want to give too many goals. Just understand the morning, what I should do, what I should do during the day, what I should do at the end of the day. And then always try to say, my strength is within me. My happiness is within me. no thing, nobody need to be out there to give me happiness. If you
Yes.
understand that from the ancient rishis, then you learn a lot. I
Yeah.
think
So nice,
That's
Kada. I mean, this learning was there all along, but it took us so long to realize it.
that's my point. We have that wisdom. That wisdom was
yeah.
delegated to somebody else, and then we took up on this Western thing. Yesterday I was watching a documentary on Gandhi, and they were showing how Gandhi wanted. I knew about this. He wanted a simpler life. He wanted to limit things. He wanted to villages to be developed, and then all the our crafts, everything to be developed. So that they won't have too many things. They won't have too much outward, but they will turn inside and realize all these great blisses that are there in that culture. What happened? Nehru, who is an atheist, who wanted things to be outward, he wanted adopted a Western thing. See, he was also slave to the senses. So he went the other way. So what happened?
Okay.
What happened? India is now completely out of it. You guys are living there, but you are not in touch with those ancient truths. Now I'm trying to bring them to this society also. These people are really happy that they were exposed to them. Today morning, I talked to somebody who interviewed me for the television show, and she is a leader herself. She interviews leaders in the healthcare field, and she interviewed me today, and she was very ecstatic about things I'm telling her. So my mission is bring that wisdom, not as Indian, not as only Hindus own it. It's not at all that. It is they said universe, everything is my family. So a lot of these Indians, they take pride, all these things are there. But they're not in their life.
Yeah, true. They're fighting for nothing.
Yeah, and no, not only that, they're not there in their life. That is the fact. Like I told you about the Vignesh, the Ganesh, you guys all do all the puja, but you don't know what Vinayaka represents. You don't have that in your lives. What point? If you know it and you do it, that is the purpose. The whole worship and everything has a purpose. You see, like I will show you another. Okay, you see, this is Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhagavate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. What does it say? Om, may all be happy. May all be free from illness. May all see what is auspicious. May no one suffer. Om, peace, peace. See, nowhere they said only Hindus, nowhere they said only Indians.
True.
They were saying about all. But you have so many divisions within you. Identification is a division. Then you will be living like that. And that's why we are fighting with each other, so many wars and all that. So the point is, the wisdom is there, bring them into your life. Otherwise, it has no meaning. Just don't quote it, don't share it. You live it in your life. Right? Right? So
Yes, true.
even that modern doctor I'm talking to this morning, she saw the point, how we need that for these modern stresses. Our main point today is, let us go inside and find our security there, and then operate from it. You know that Annamaya, other one is says, Viduvanu papamu punyamu, Viduvanu na durgunamalu, Viduvanu mikkidi asalu. That means you can expect to have some money, but you don't want to have this greed. Greed is nothing but if you want more than what you have, you are greed. Then other thing is a tagileta bahu lampatamula, tagileta bahu bandamula, talapanu mokshapu margamu, talapalanandaina. And then he tells about his own state. Agapati Sri Venkateswara Sara Antaryamimai, Nagi Nagi Nanibur Kadpitani, Naka E Maya. Even I also go into that Maya. Anyway, I was able to tell you the meaning of the whole thing, you know. But that is what he wrote. There's so much inside blissful thing. That's what it is. Once you get in touch with the blissful states, you don't care for the super pressures at all. You will go for them. So your orientation towards this Western style of living is really killing the entire planet. These people do that, they spread everywhere, and we take off them, and but that's not the way. You take the scientific knowledge from here, and then ancient consciousness knowledge from India, and you combine in your life. Then it will be nice. Are you awakened now to the ancient wisdom?
Yes. Today there was
Yes.
we have these webinars, Chinbabu, about travel people, you know, to inculcate Incredible India Tourism Department also conducts. So today there was one about trails of Buddha, basically highlighting the places where all he was there. So out of the 8 sthanas, 7 are in India, and you see they started off. So this was conducted by a monk from a Buddhist monk. He is a grihastha and he is also a monk. So he was talking about it. Ultimately, the philosophy of Buddhism is also this. Same thing what you have just said. Look into yourself, you are complete.
You know, what is Buddha's message finally? Only 2 points. You want to put simply. Yeah, you're right. What I'm saying is, I'm going to put it in a simpler way that you can really appreciate. You know, he said, there is only suffering in the world, but there is a solution to the suffering.
Okay.
So all you have to do is you have to understand what is the suffering. You are in the suffering now. You have to understand the solutions and go with it.
Okay.
So I know Buddhism very depth because I have worked with people who are in Buddhism, Eckhart Tolle and other people. So I will tell you Buddhist language, what we were talking about yesterday too. I also presented in my talks also. There are 2 arrows. Don't say I know about it. Listen first, okay? 2 arrows that come in the life. One arrow comes from outside, from the society, from whatever such challenge you have. But the next arrow comes from within you. So
arrow for what?
For your reaction. For the suffering, there are 2 arrows. There is suffering. For example, you are there, you have some problem with business. That is the arrow coming from outside to you.
Oh, okay.
That's going to cause problems. That's going to cause strife and all that, right?
Yeah.
How you choose to respond, that makes the real problem.
Inner arrow. Okay.
So what we say in medicine, I tell them, not everybody says, I say that pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional.
Okay. That's a nice one. I'll make a note of that.
So you have to apply that in life. When something comes from outside, that's the arrow. But you should not allow it to disturb you from within. How you do that? By practicing this kind of routine. Always nurturing your inner self. See, Indian people may show incredible India and all of that, but they don't really know what is real India is telling them, and then they certainly don't show that in their life. There are few people who are doing it, but all I'm encouraging is you guys also understand and bring it in your life. Now you got an answer to the insecurity, how to respond.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not that I'm not saying you should not attempt your life and do work and all that. We will do that, but we do that with strength, with peace of mind, with a lot of joy already in. This is what they said. Happiness is within, not outside. But everybody is like thinking outside the happiness, they're going for it. And then one thing is achieved, then again, that is done. You have to go for the next one for the happiness. But if you are happy to begin with and you achieve something, that becomes part of life, and then you are okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it's very healthy situation also. Your mind doesn't move, you don't have any stress hormones. Then you become strong physically also, mentally also.
Yes.
I always told
That's true.
both my sister and my wife about the manomaya kosha. Don't stay in the mind only. You guys are also thinking about what I said. Don't stay in the manomaya kosha. Use that, but don't be a victim of that. Right? You can teach this to the kids and then let them understand now. Even if you understand a little bit, they will start to look for inside slowly. You cannot teach them unless it is there in you. You understand? Okay. Is there any other question, anything that you want me to answer?
No, as of now.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good discussion, I think.
Yeah.
It was nice.
So then we will end this at this time then, okay?